Alright, welcome to episode 18 of GraphTech's FAQ Friday, or FAQA, or FAQ-a-lot, I don't know. There's the logo, and then there's jokes. That's what this show's about. Lube jokes, nut jokes, G-string jokes, none of them good. Alright, this first one comes from Gearfish502. Aloha! I'm looking for a nut that can fit my Ibanez Artcore AF 75. It's 75 as mahalo. Gee, wait, is his like actual name Gearfish? So those guitars are awesome, and also I think the shortest named Ibanez in existence. It's 4 characters. I don't know how they brought themselves to doing it. That's amazing. I'm proud of them. Like, you'll want to go for the PQL 6010. That should be pretty much a drop-in replacement. Might have to sand the edges down a little bit, but other than that, should be good to go. Alright, this next one's from Slaherd. Hello, I have a guitar. Me too. Samick RL3 Greg Bennett Royal. And I would like to change the bridge for one of your models, but I don't know what model would do on my guitar. Can you help me? Is this a question? It's FAQ. But where's the Q? There's no Q! But for any of the Greg Bennett's, or pretty much anything made out of the Samick factory, you'll want the PS8863. Any of the 6mm post bridges you'll want on that, so should be a drop-in replacement. This one's from Dave Goody. Hi guys, I have a Godin LG that I would like to change the tuners on. I'm seriously looking at a set of your ratio locking tuners, although they seem pretty scarce in the UK. The Godin has 2-pin tuners currently fitted, which have a nice small black keys fitted that I really like. I don't suppose these tuners are from GraphTech, and so would be a straight swap for the small keys and would go straight onto a set of ratio tuners, would they? Thanks in advance for any help you can give. Dave. So, those aren't our tuners, but the 2-pin configuration that we use on them is very common, and those ones will be a drop-in replacement. The buttons might be compatible if you're really hard set on keeping those buttons. I know Shala, Grover, and there's a third one. I can't remember who it is, but they might be able to switch. And if you're trying to look for our tuners in the UK, you can get in touch with John Hornby and SKUs, JHS, or another alternative too is just to go through Warwick. They're our European distributor, but it would still probably be cheaper than ordering them straight from Canada. So yeah, those should give you some options. Alright, this next one's from Danny Cham. Walla Walla Bang Bang. I'm wondering if your locking tuners will retrofit on my new Fender Duosonic. Thanks for your time. They will. The tuners that are on there should be the Fender block tuners. And if so, we make a specific set of plates for those, the PRT 952201 plates, and those will just make it so you won't have to do any work to get them on. And then you'll have the most awesome Fender Duosonic the world has ever seen. Alright, this next one's from Dale. Hello. I picked up a Taylor 1114E, and I've been trying to find some nice pins to replace the plastic ones. Everywhere I looked says for 300 and above series, the Taylors, which are a 5-degree taper, I noticed that your pins are a 3-degree, which is what the 114 need. I'm sure you get asked a lot about the sets for the 114 since I can't find any info. Could you suggest a set of pins for the 114E? Also, for future reference, what saddle do you usually recommend for the 114E? Any info and suggestions would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, Dale. So, they used to be kind of a mix and match. As mentioned previously, there's no real industry standard for bridge pins. So, we make the 2 different styles, traditional and the presentation. Some of the Mexican-made ones would use the traditional style, and then the domestic ones would sometimes use the presentation. And that used to be kind of the hard and fast. Then sometime around 2010, now they just use traditional across the board. So if it's made before 2010, then you might want to pull the pins and take some calipers and measure them. We've got a link in the description down below of the measurements. But if it was made after, then it's a safe bet to just get any of the traditional style pins, and they should be a good upgrade. And for the saddle, looks like the PQ 9280 will be a good upgrade for that. It's about 73 mil long, so you might have to sand the edges down a little bit, but other than that, should be drop-in replacement. Alright, this next one's from Joshua Query. He's got a query. I'm sorry. That's not a good joke. First off, I'd love to say thank you for making amazing products. You're welcome. I didn't make them. but I know the guy who did, and he's pretty awesome. I have your nuts and saddles on every guitar I own. Secondly, I had some consulting from you in the past. It was regarding which products to get for which guitars. Upon recommendation, I got the PQL 6060 for my Epiphone Wildkat. Sadly, it isn't tall enough. A few of the strings rest on the first fret. Sadness. Anyhow, is there a similar nut to the 6060 in the XL, but taller? I'd love to get the right nut for this guitar. I have some upcoming dates that I'd like to take this for. As always, thank you! Well, sorry about the mismatch in nut. So, with that Wildkat, since it's made in 2014, 2014 is when they changed their specs, both Epiphone and Gibson. So it's usually just a safe bet if it's made in 2014 to go with the PQL 6061, which is borderline the same nut, but just like a tiny bit taller, and the strings are kind of different, and it's slightly thinner or thicker. So like everything's just kind of the same but slightly different. And as you've perfectly demonstrated, it makes it so that the old one doesn't fit, which was a wonderful thing to find out originally. So yeah, I got all your contact information, so I'll shoot you an email and we'll get that figured out for you, man. So hopefully we'll get you ready for your show. This next one's from Tanner Payton. Hello, do you make string saver saddles that'll fit a top-loading hardtail Fender bridge? Yeah. So, with that one, the PS 8000 saddles will still fit. You might have to do a little bit of sanding on the backside, on the back inside. Do you like this motion? I don't know what I'm trying to signify there, but mainly just because I'll see if I can find a close-up picture and just put it right here. The intonation screw goes right here, and then the string goes right there. So I know with the stock saddles, they're probably a little bit thinner, and then they just have that, you know, thin metal base. So there's, once it's through, it's fine. But since ours are more of a block, there might be a little bit of material in the way. But again, you can either just take like the clipped end of an E string and just run it along the inside slot where it might contact. But since it's a hardtail, even if it is kind of contacting a little bit, since it's not a moving trem, shouldn't cause any issues anyway. But either way, they'll fit, and you might have to do a little bit of something just to get it optimal. Alright, this next one's from Robin Saxby. I've been using Preplay, but ran out. What's the difference between it and other similar products? Also, which one lasts longest? Is there a way to know when you'll run out before you actually do? Thanks, Robin. So, difference between Preplay and Dry and Glide is Preplay is before you play, and then Dry and Glide is for during. They both will neutralize the acids in your hands. And Dry and Glide will just keep your hands dry and soft. There's a little bit of Teflon and some other stuff in there that keeps them nice and soft and just feels really good up and down the neck. Now with Preplay, that one also neutralizes the acids in your hands, keeps you from rusting, you know, your hardware, your strings. Kind of works like a hand sanitizer as well. Not saying that it does like kill germs, but it will, you know, remove anything that's going to be gunking up your hands anyway. That kind of helps condition your hands as well as make it so that you don't rust away your hardware. As far as uses, I would say Dry and Glide lasts longer, but both of them will last probably more than well over a month of using. They will last more than a month of using regularly, but they'll both last well over a month when you're using it regularly. Now, how do you know when you're gonna run out? I don't know. With Dry and Glide, I mean, you can shake it and you can hear how much is left in there. And for Preplay, you could open it. You have to re-engage the vacuum. So you'd have to like tip it upside down and, oh yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of this motion. You have to tip it upside down and just, you know, play Mario Party with it. You just gotta pump it a bunch of times, on a table preferably. This is going wonderfully. So if you just, there's no way of making that not look disgusting. Alright, so you hold the tube and then you just pump it down on a table, okay? And then that'll fix your problem. Then you won't have any issues and your day will be better. Alright, that's episode 17? 15 just I'm uploading right now. 16 is the one I'm editing. 17 is the one I just shot. So this is 18. Look at me, I can count. So thanks for watching. Thanks for leaving your comments, asking questions, just shooting us emails at sales@graphtech, or going over to our support portal. I'll leave that in the description. Also, leave any comments that you've got, or questions, or concerns, or dad jokes, and hit the like button if you liked it. Hit the dislike if you didn't. Subscribe over there so you can see more, and hit the bell right there to get notifications. And if you go through all the 5 steps, then you get a prize. Yeah, like, you get a pony. He's got asthma. He's diabetic, but, you know. And if you go through all 5 steps, you get a prize and a high five. So, see you next week.